SQLAlchemy, print the actual query. I'd really like to be able to print out valid SQL for my application, including values, rather than bind parameters, but it's not obvious how to do this in SQLAlchemy, by design, I'm fairly sure. Has anyone solved this problem in a general way?
This works in Python 2 and 3 and is a bit cleaner than before, but requires sub equals 1.0. Demo. Gives this output. Tested in Python 2.7 and 3.4.
In the vast majority of cases, the stringification of an SQLAlchemy statement or query is as simple as. This applies both to an onQuery, as well as any select or other statement. Note the following detailed answer is being maintained on the SQLAlchemy documentation. To get the statement as compiled to a specific dialect or engine, if the statement itself is not already bound to one, you can pass this into compile. Or without an engine. When given an onQuery object, in order to get at the compile method, we only need access the statement accessor first. With regards to the original stipulation that bound parameters are to be inlined into the final string, the challenge here is that SQLAlchemy normally is not tasked with this, as this is handled appropriately by the Python BAPI. Not to mention bypassing bound parameters is probably the most widely exploited security holes in modern web applications. SQLAlchemy has limited ability to do this stringification in certain circumstances, such as that of emitting DDL. In order to access this functionality, one can use the literal _binds flag passed to compile _corgs. The above approach has the caveats that it is only supported for basic types, such as ints and strings, and furthermore, if a bind param without a preset value is used directly, it won't be able to stringify that either. To support inline literal rendering for types not supported, implement a typer decorator for the target type, which includes a typer decorator, process _literal _param method. Producing output like
Given that what you want makes sense only when debugging, you could start SQLAlchemy with echo equals true to log all SQL queries. For example, this can also be modified for just a single request. Echo equals false. If true, the engine will log all statements as well as a wrapper of their parameter lists to the engine's logger, which defaults to sys.stat. The echo attribute of engine can be modified at any time to turn logging on and off. If set to the string debug, result rows will be printed to the standard output as well. This flag ultimately controls a Python logger. See configuring logging for information on how to configure logging directly. Source SQLAlchemy engine configuration. If used with Flask, you can simply set to get the same behavior.
We can use compile method for this purpose. From the docs, result. Warning from docs. Never use this technique with string content received from untrusted input, such as from web forms or other user input applications. SQLAlchemy's facilities to coerce Python values into direct SQL string values are not secure against untrusted input and do not validate the type of data being passed. Always use bound parameters when programmatically invoking non-DDL SQL statements against a relational database.
If you want to see more, please consider